Wow, good morning. This is just for today. This is our 6 a.m. Wake up your day version. Um, Not sure if this will go over. We were just trying to do different things at PRN, and we decided that we would maybe try an early morning. We do some evening offerings with our recovery classes, and just for today, typically was on Friday at 11:30. And so my thoughts were is to really invite you in to what I do. I talked about it a lot on Just for Today, the day version, not morning version or early morning version. We talked about it, and I let everybody know that I was just sharing with you my devotions, my meditations, things that were on my heart to work on. And so I would bring those things to you. So I decided that I would try to do something a little different. We'll see if anybody jumps on this morning. We may not have any early morning recovery champions this morning ready to open their eyes to me. But this is always an offering that I hope people will go back and watch later on in the morning and make it a part of your day. So just for today is literally what it means. That today I can look at something that is on my heart, been placed in my lap, even a thought um, that I could consider trying in my daily routine, even if it's just for today, because it may have value in my life. So we're going to do this on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings. And I'm going to share with you what I do. Hopefully, you'll find something in there that's useful and that you could keep going. We talk a lot about starting our day off with positive words, positive feedback. Um, it kind of gets us going. It gets our mind. It kind of sets the moment of what we're going to feed on for that day. So what are we choosing to feed today? Positivity, serenity, or negativity? Um, some really deep emotions. So how do we get out off on the right foot? Well, I'm a person that believes that for me, getting up really, really early is beneficial. I get up at 4 o'clock every morning. I try to go to bed at a decent hour, but I love life. I really am not much of a sleeper. I'm not a napper. I don't really get into that very much, but I enjoy um, living my life. And so I get up early because at 4 a.m., nobody messes with you. Not really. So you can have your coffee. You hear my little dog barking. She's definitely up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Um, you have your coffee, you can have your meditation, you can sit and just plan your day. You can just watch the sun come up. It's coming up now. I'm actually looking at it through my bedroom window, and it's beautiful. Or this is my office, excuse me, at my home office. So it is just a beautiful time of the day. Birds sing louder. They're beautiful. There's just people are different. Things are different for me in the morning. So that's why I get up so early. And I work on several things. So I am a person who is on the family disease side of addiction. That is part of my story. I have a an extensive story, trauma history in my own personal life. But part of the thing that I choose every day to work on is several things. I am a mother of a child or children who have issues with addiction, been diagnosed with substance use disorder, who have struggled for many years. In that, I discovered that I too was struggling, that I was part of the disease, that I too had the disease of codependency, of trying to take over control, and it was taking a grip on my life. So my recovery has been in Al-Anon, and so my meditations come from several readings that I used in Al-Anon. So that's what we're going to continue to do. So I hope that you will find this helpful. Um, each time we come on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I will be bringing the same kind of format to you. It may last about 30 minutes or so. If we have folks that are early morning birds that chime in, it may take maybe a little longer. But if not, this is just a way just for today for you to start your day out. So if you're live with me, thank you. Let me know you're out there. If you choose to watch this later on because you don't have to get up with the birds like I do or the roosters, that's great too. I hope you'll find it helpful. And even if you watch it later, you can comment. I'll see those. Let me know if this is working. Let me know if this is something that is enjoyable. I love it. I love being up early. So I hope this thing works because it'll keep me on track too, keeps me accountable in my own work. So let me just introduce you to several readings, and then we're going to hopefully you'll find something even just for today that's helpful. So this is One Day at a Time, okay, through Al-Anon. I hope you can see that. I just take this book, Encouraged to Change, and I actually go to the date, which is July 7th. So we're going to read, I'm just going to read from this. They're not long, but they're powerful. So from July the 7th, so what's so important about being right? Why do we complicate our lives and aggravate our difficulties by insisting our views be accepted? In the tensions that we are part of living, just tensions in life, whether you live alone or you live with someone, maybe you're like me, you live with someone or have lived with someone with the disease of addiction or mental health. Maybe you yourself are someone that's in recovery or still struggling with these things. So why do we, with all the things that we deal with and with the people that we live with, why do we have this attitude? And it can make a lot of trouble for us. What harm would it be? Now just consider this just for today now. So what harm would it do to back down? To accept what the person says, whether it makes sense or not? Why don't I just let go and let God? So let go and let God is a very popular, for years and years and years, used slogan in the rooms, as we call it, NA, AA, and Al-Anon. You hear that a lot. Even if you've never been a part of those rooms in recovery, you've probably heard someone somewhere say, let go and let God. So why can't we do that in this incident? I will try to apply easy does it, which is another slogan, to every incident that might increase the tension and cause an explosion. I will try to realize that an exchange of hostile words will not help me to find the serenity I want. So just for today, let's remember, why should I react to criticism and accusations, justified or not? What can I gain by heated denials and irrational discussions? In a neurotic environment, anything can start a row. I need not take part in it. I will ignore it cheerfully if I can. This is an excellent technique for avoiding dissension. Our calm, unconcern may make the person that is having an issue uneasy enough to make him or her think seriously about finding their own faults or finding their own part in whatever has gone wrong in that situation. To withdraw from an argument may not make you the winner, but what you have saved is your own dignity and grace. Okay? So that was One Day at a Time. So you'll find that these readings kind of are real similar. They complement each other from one reading to the next, two different books, but it really drives home the point. So in Courage to Change, I thought that every conflict and every confrontation, someone was at fault. It was essential to assign blame, and I would stew for hours weighing the evidence. I became a chronic scorekeeper. Yeah, boy, this speaks to me. Because I approached every situation with this attitude, I was consumed by guilt and anger, defensive and anxious. I made sure my own back was always covered. Al Anon in the rooms and maybe some other groups that you've been a part of could help me understand that disputes come up even when everyone is doing their best. Obviously, reviewing everyone's behavior focuses my attention where it doesn't belong and keeps me too busy to have any serenity. Instead, I can consider the part I have played. If I have made mistakes, I am free to make amends. Say I'm sorry. Heal the relationship. Today, I know that conflict is not necessarily an indication that someone is wrong. Difficulties may just arise. Sometimes people simply disagree. So, just for today, I can accept that each life has its share of conflict. It is not my job to document every such incident. Instead of wringing my hands and pointing my fingers, I can consider the possibility that everything is happening exactly as it should. Sometimes blame is just an excuse to keep busy so that I don't have to feel the discomfort of any powerlessness. The mind grows by what it feeds on. So, this is the part that I really meditated on this morning, the part that says, I don't have to feel the discomfort of my powerlessness. So, isn't that what we feel in conflict? Isn't that what we feel sometimes when we are having an argument or disagreement? It could be at work, it could be at home, in the community. That discomfort, that all of a sudden your views or how you feel, what your part was and whatever was going on wasn't at fault, was right. And all of a sudden you feel like the conversation is turning and you're losing power. And all of a sudden fingers could be put pointing back at you. So being a scorekeeper, always feeling like every disagreement that you have, someone's at fault. When in reality, we all have our different views, our different beliefs. And sometimes we have to agree to disagree, right? Serenity. If you heard that, that's in both of these readings, is trying to get back to serenity. And it seems like through social media, in our homes, on different platforms that we have, there's a lot of arguing. There's a lot of things going on that can make people angry and want to dispute or just get downright ugly with each other. And, at that point, nobody's heard. And we're too busy trying to gain power over the situation. And a lot of times we insert our nose in someone else's business or situation that really we don't need to be in. I used to tell my kids all the time, and I think my mother used to tell me this: if you take care of yourself, you'll not only have a full-time but a part-time job as well. And when we release ourselves from getting in other situations or being a scorekeeper or always thinking that every disagreement someone has to be wrong, or thinking that we have to settle it right now and we have to make our point right now. Just for today, can we consider just for today doing something a little different? Because I promise you, the sun is up. People are hurrying to work. You may be getting ready right now to get your kids off to camp or get yourself to work or to start your day even at your home. Maybe you're a caregiver to a family member. Maybe you're someone that's getting over an illness yourself and you're at home relaxing, trying to get better. Maybe you're a person today that just had a tremendous argument this morning or last night, or sometime this week that's really weighed heavy on your heart that just can't get past. Well, I challenge you this morning that you don't have to carry that. You can let it go. You can release the power. You can choose just for today to not be a scorekeeper, to look at your part in this, and also consider that everybody can just have their own opinion and move forward. So I want to give you something to think about. So this concept this morning about being right. What's so important about being right? Why do we complicate our lives and aggravate our difficulties by insisting our view be accepted? What is that about, right? What is that about? So just for today, considering you don't have to be right today on everything. You don't have to be right at all. You don't have to prove your point about anything. Can you just for today kind of, if you've got that discernment in your heart or that attitude that it's your way or no way, let's do something a little bit different. Or maybe you don't have the intentions to do it, but it seems to follow you everywhere you go, that there's conflict. Can you consider today, are you somewhere you shouldn't be? Are you sticking your nose somewhere you shouldn't? Are you eavesdropping into something that you shouldn't? Are you putting something on your shoulders that doesn't belong to you when you already have enough responsibilities, enough things that you carry on a day-to-day basis? You don't always have to be right. You don't always have to be in the center of things. Can we step back today? Okay. So I want to give you just a couple of things, and then I'm going to give you something personal. All right. So just for today, if you find yourself in the middle of something that is getting steamed, there's definitely a disagreement, there's going to be an argument, I want you to think about this, even if it's just for today. You don't always have to be right, and you don't always have to open your mouth. You don't have anything to prove today. Only thing you need to do today is take care of you, and everything else will follow suit. If you're taking the best care of you, then what you give will be 100% you, will be genuine. It won't be stressed. It'll be received. It'll be love. We do things for people. We take care of people. We take care of things. No matter what you do for a living, or maybe you're at home, So take care of you first. You don't always have to be right. So here's some things that, I don't know what's going ahead of me. I mean, it's 6:18. Soon as I get done with this, I'll pack up my work stuff and I'll head to Charlotte because I live in South Carolina. So I've got a little trip ahead of me. And I hear was a terrible accident on 77 this morning, a fatality, and has it backed up going north. And of course, that's where I'm going. So I've got to check that out, right? And I could become very angry about that because it's going to trip me up. I'm probably going to have to go a different way to work. And I have something very, very important to be a part of at 8:30. So I have to skedaddle when I get off of this. So I can already feel my anxiety, right? So, but for today, with you this morning, I'm going to release that because I'm powerless over what's going on 77. And I'm powerless about if I'm going to even get to work on time. But I'm going to do my best. But for right now, I'm with you. And I'm being mindful about that, which is hard for me when I know I've got a big day ahead of me. So just for today, consider that as well as you listen to this or you do your own meditations, that you also stay present in the moment. So when you find yourself today, just for today, in the middle of something that feels uncomfortable, you feel like you're losing your power, you feel powerless over this conversation or this argument, I'm going to give you two things I want you to practice today, even if it's just today. First of all, pause. You have the right to pause. If you're not in a good space to talk through something, right? You're not going to be a scorekeeper today. You're not going to shame and blame anybody, but you find yourself in the middle of this conversation, not being able to have this conversation because of your deep emotion about it. You can pause. You can take a time out. It is okay to say, I'm feeling pretty emotional about this conversation or what's going on right now. I'm going to have to pause and come back with you. We don't give ourselves enough grace to do that. We think we got to react. Mm-mm. Just for today, consider, take control, take your power back. The situation may be not in your power, but what you do, how you handle it, you do have power over. You can always say, I can't deal with this right now. I've got to collect myself. So just take a pause and breathe. One of the first things we do when we find ourselves in conflict is stop breathing, or our breathing is slowed up. We don't take deep breaths, so we don't get oxygen. It's scientific. You go research it. It makes people say, "Oh, just breathe." People go, "I breathe every day." No, not this type of breathing. Taking deep breaths in, intentionally letting them out slow, and really be mindful of your breaths. Try it today. Maybe if you're fixing to get on 77 like me, try it. Know that you're doing the best that you can in the moment. I truly believe that every day, most of us get up and in the moment, we do the best we can with what we have in that moment. I just want to make sure that the best I have is the best I have. So just for today, let's don't keep score. Let's consider backing down, considering someone else's viewpoint, and that you don't have to be right about everything today. Take your nose out of where it don't belong. Be mindful about that. Find your serenity today. Find it. Just for today. So we're going to do this again on Friday, and next week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So please let me know how you think about it. But I also want to end with this. One of the things that I do along with my devotionals or my meditations is that I journal. And I have these little books that, just have paper in them, right? And I write them. And I don't know if you, behind me, I have some books that are some of my favorite childhood books, as well as some meditation books and some journals, some old journals. I've been journaling for a long, long time. And this particular book here was, I started back in 2018. Okay. I started this book August 22nd, 2018, because I'd filled the previous book up. And I put it down for a while. And then I picked it back up. So each time I'm with you, I want to give you a piece of me. I want to practice giving back what meditation, mindfulness, and getting up and starting my day with this kind of meditation and with journaling my thoughts, what that looks like. And it gives me an opportunity to practice my courage to actually go into thoughts in my recovery from that long ago. I'll even dig some back up in the 90s for you. I've been working on my own recovery for codependency and that family side of substance use disorder, as well as some traumatic things in my life that tripped me up and caused a lot of irrational thoughts and depression and hopelessness. And I want to share some of that with you, because those of you who watch PRN and work with us, I hope that you have gotten to know me a little bit and our lived experience at Promise Resources to inspire hope. Because we recovered, you can recover, and share a piece of our stories and our lives. And I just want to read to you each day that I do this, give you a piece of my thoughts back in the day, and my thoughts about it today, July the 7th, 2021. So on August the 27th, 2018, a few years back, This is what I wrote. Let me make sure I got this right. Yeah. Yeah. Addiction left messy tracks all over my life, but I couldn't see them. Denial was my chief symptoms of this family disease of addiction. We alone can't defeat this disease, so we invent ways to survive. The constant crisis, broken promises, lost hope, and embarrassments. These were my inner thoughts in 2018. If my only way to cope was to deny it, I choose to look with compassion upon myself. I saw no better option at the time. Let me read that again. Because when I read this morning of what I reflected and what I thought about myself, I just hugged myself and said, you need to remember this today, girl. You had the insight in 2018. Let's bring it back. If my only way to cope was to deny it, I choose to look back with compassion onto myself, who saw no better option at the time. One of my issues over the years is to beat myself up about how I handled things or didn't handle things with my family, myself. I will forgive myself and count my blessings for having come so far since then. Regret is an appalling waste of energy, is what I wrote. Can't build on it, only good for wallowing in it. Don't you like that word wallowing? That's a real country word, I think. I say quit wallowing in it. This is the last thing that I said on that day in 2018. Lisa, stop the God-like attitude. And what I meant by that in my meditation, in my discoveries, in my spiritualness, that I was playing God. I was getting in God's way of my own personal life, as well as the ones that I thought I was supporting through their disease. I was part of the problem. I was not willing to give over my power. I had to be right. I had to be that person. So 2 things: stop the God attitude, get out of his way, let go and let God, work on you, stay out of other people's business. But the other thing is give yourself compassion, Lisa. So back in 2018, I had this thought that I was doing the best I could in the moment that I had. And I was going to give myself grace and love and know that I went with the only option that I felt like I had at the time. And I promised myself then that I would start looking and discovering and putting in my toolbox other options. Because in 2018, some of the things that I did in the name of love didn't feel very lovely when it was over. And I really did think that that was my only option. But my goal now is to make sure that I have more options that I can pull out of my love that at the end still look like love instead of control. So just for today, consider that. Give yourself grace. Start exploring other options. Don't just use, well, that's all I knew to do as an excuse. Now you know better. I knew better back in 2018. So just for today, consider giving yourself grace. You don't always have to be right. Back down. Try to back down a little bit today. Breathe. Take some time out. What are you feeding today? Serenity? What's the opposite of serenity? Chaos. I don't know about you, but I am not wanting any chaos in my day to day. I would like serenity, peace, compassion. My intentions today will be love and I want them to stay that way. So just for today, consider these things. Today is July the 7th. Know that this is a day that you can make your own. Just choose to feed it something differently than maybe you fed it yesterday. Breathe a lot more today intentionally. Deep breaths. And I'm going to remind myself of that as I go get in my car in the next few minutes to head to Charlotte. I'm hoping that accident, and I'm hoping whoever was in that accident, their family, I pray for them, and I hope things are okay. And I pray for everybody who's trying to travel that way this morning, because it can be very frustrating and it can feed us today. Just traffic. There's some very important people in my life that traffic and how people drive can feed them and start their day out or end their day in a very negative way. Breathe. Stop trying to control it and back down. And pay attention to your own driving, whether you're physically driving or you're just driving your life today. Guys, I love you. Just please remember, we got some, we are open now. So spread the word. I hope you'll share this devotional this morning. But also share the news that we're open now at PRN and Promise Resource. And we have classes during the day, starting at 10, 11:30, and then at 1. We're still doing some virtual offerings during the day as well as in the evening. And this, just for today, is going to be an offering that we're going to at least try for the month of July on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6 a.m. I hope you will intentionally, if you missed it today and you're watching it later, that you will come Friday, set your alarm a little bit earlier and jump on with me. Remember, I can't see you. You can see me. So I literally had to get up and splash water on my face and comb my hair and brush my teeth. You don't have to do that. You can just chime in and be a part of this discussion. But we're going to try it. Good morning, Kim. And maybe we'll see that we'll start a little later. Maybe 6 is too early. Maybe 6:30 is better. We'll see. But if you didn't get to catch all of this, go back and watch it. Give me some feedback, even if it's later on. I'll see them. Guys, we're open now. If you got any needs, please feel free to call our front desk. Miss Kim Porter will be there from 8 to 4:30 to answer your questions. 704-390-7709. Miss Kim's there Monday through Friday, so give her a call. We are open now, so you are more than welcome to come and hang out with us there at Promise Resource Network. And if you have any questions about where we're located, how to find us, give Kim a call on our welcome desk. There's the number. Also, guys, one last thing, the warm line. This still continues to be a beautiful thing that PRN started a year and a half ago or so. Once we got shut down with COVID, it's still going strong. There's the number, guys. Please pass it around. Keep it for yourself. You need someone to talk to. These are peer support specialists who've been there. They're far enough along in recovery now that they can reach back and help others. So pass this around to your friends and family. Keep it close by. Program it on your phone. Utilize this as much as you need to. They're there 24/7, so give them a call. But guys, this has been great. But I need to head to Charlotte to have an intentional day of serenity. And I hope that you have found this devotional something that will be helpful, even if it's just for today. Hope you found something that you'll consider using today and maybe the week or the month or maybe a lifetime. I love you guys, and I will see you Friday at 6 a.m. And hope you have a wonderful day and a wonderful Thursday. Also tonight, 6:30 p.m. is Through the Eyes of Others with Aaron Wells and myself. We got a special guest tonight that you don't want to miss. So tune in or plan to watch it later if you need to. So you guys have a great day and pray for me as I head to Charlotte. All right. Love you guys.